Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for January 2022. We are going to jump right in here, Scorpio, and we are going to see what is coming up for you. You have two cards here. We'll take it. Why not? They're both good cards, so I like to see that. But Scorpio, looking really good. Definitely a transformation going on for you. Clearly, you have the butterfly spirit. It's a card of transformation. And I love that it came out with that starfish spirit because that card says open to infinite possibility. It definitely is a time of infinite possibilities, especially for you water signs in general. But definitely for you, Scorpio. I would say that, again, all the water signs kind of benefit from Neptune and Pisces. I would say, to me, Neptune and Pisces is challenging actually for water signs, but it's also kind of like good. The reason it's challenging for you maybe is that, and I even see it in this reading, this is why I'm saying this, is that it's a little bit about kind of like unbelievable thinking. We need to think that we are maybe capable of doing a lot more than we can. So it's kind of like needing to think, dream big, needing to take your big dream and then multiply it by 10. And the reason for this is that with Neptune and Pisces, you can accomplish like way more than you ever thought possible. But also, it's like if you multiply your dream by 10 or 100, it's like maybe you only get 90% of the way there, but that's like 9 times better than what you originally thought you were going to be able to do. So, dream big, shoot for the moon, shoot for friggin' Mars, Jupiter, something better, right? You have this polite declaration card. It says you can move in whatever direction you need to accomplish your goals, which is hilarious. This starfish spirit is all about moving in any direction you want. Claim what is yours and stay in your power. Again, all three water signs had very similar readings to this. So, and you have the Magician as well. The Magician is literally a card of your words and what you attract. So in this first row, you have the Magician, the Queen of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. I feel this Magician, first off, he's pointing like this direction right here. He's pointing down, and he's pointing towards this diagonal in this first diagonal. And look at this. How crazy is this? All three cards are yellow. They have the golden background. All the rest of the cards here are blue. I would choose the path of the Magician if I were you, Scorpio. I feel this reading is encouraging you clearly to focus on grounding something in reality. He's holding that wand up, and that kind of represents the magic side of things. He can use his words, he can use his manifestations, he can actually use any of the tools that are on the table here. He has mastery over all the suits. What's going to be important for you is this right here, the grounding something in reality. Again, the Queen of Swords, a good card. I feel like you're seeing things clearly. I feel like you're seeing what's possible. But also, she might be a little bit too logical. She might be a little bit too realistic. So I don't think this is like a bad thing or anything, Scorpio. I just think it's saying like, hey, add a little magic, add a little, something that you think is, again, impossible to, manifest in your life and start making it real in your head by doing, anything you possibly can, writing affirmations, dreaming about it, just living it in your head. What do you call that? Visualizing. All those things would be very beneficial for you. And finally, you have the Two of Pentacles. Work hard, play hard. Part of manifestation as well is like having a good time, having fun while you're doing it. Two of Pentacles is a very hardworking card, but he needs to do things in balance. So I feel you have to do that. I also feel like you're creating these waves right here in your life. I never say that, but it's popping. Those waves in the background are kind of popping out to me, Scorpio. So I do feel you are creating these vibrational waves that are kind of going off into the universe. But let's clarify this. With the Magician, you have the Six of Pentacles. Start planting seeds. Six of Pentacles is like giving where you put your energy. Sometimes I think that's what we need to do. Sometimes I think we just need to put our energy into things that give us energy back. And if we do that, we'll be very successful. If we don't, we won't. So I think sometimes we just need to make sure we're giving to things that give back to us as well. We have to create that kind of flow, as I always say. So make sure you're giving to situations that kind of fill up your cups or, kind of return some energy to you. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, definitely wouldn't rush. All three water signs had something about needing to make sure that you're not like rushing, needing to make sure that you're taking your time. So I wouldn't rush around. I'm also getting a second opinion here. You know, if you're dealing with money or anything like that, Knight of Swords to me can represent needing to get a second opinion. So it's like if someone tells you it's going to cost you $1 billion to fix your car, if someone tells you they need to charge you, thousands of dollars to fix your house or anything like that, any type of situation like that, the Knight of Swords is kind of like a clue card. It can say that it would be a better idea for you to get a second opinion. It doesn't say that the person is lying. It just says, number one, maybe there's a person who knows how to do things better and cheap, and because of that, they can do it for cheaper. So it could just say that maybe, if you're having someone fix something, or if you're purchasing something from like a car or something expensive, it could just say there's a better opportunity. So it's not really a right or wrong thing. It can also say that someone is trying to trick you. So, again, second opinion on the Knight of Swords. And with the Two of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Love it. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want in your life. It is joy, happiness. It's a family here, and they are very content. It's a card of building and leaving a legacy as well. So I feel you are focused more long-term with the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles always reminds me of focusing long-term. It basically says that you're very focused out into the future. There's really nothing wrong with that. To me, that's a good thing in general. Next, you have this Butterfly Spirit. This was the first card. It says transformation is beautiful. So clearly you're undergoing a transformation. And you have the Starfish Spirit. It says open to infinite possibilities. This is why I always say things like if you're writing affirmations, for example, and you're writing a certain number, like maybe you're saying I want to attract $100,000 into my life, I would say, make your affirmation $100,000 or better. I always say to people, leave it open to the universe. Maybe the universe wants you to have more. And then people without fail, people always say, oh, you don't be greedy and all this other stuff. I'm like, well, it's not greedy because, okay, the universe gives me $200,000. Maybe I donate $100,000, right? So I always tell people, attract as much as you possibly can and then do good things with it. And it doesn't even have to be money. It's like, maybe you're like, I want to attract the love of my life, and by leaving it open, right? And being open to any possibility, then you attract someone not only much easier and faster, but probably someone much better. So I would just, stay open to that anything is possible in your life. Again, all water sign readings were very, very similar for this month. Doesn't really surprise me based off the astrology. You have the Judgment card, the Page of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. I do feel there could be communication coming in for you. It seems to be like a very spiritual month as well. So I would be listening to your guides, angels. I would be meditating with this type of energy. You don't really have any other cards of meditation, but this is, this angel on this card represents your higher self. So I'd be, tapping into your higher self. I'd be tapping into those types of energies with the Judgment card. I feel like it'll be very beneficial for you with this Judgment card as well. The Page of Pentacles, I do feel this could be communication as well. If you're attracting love or if you're looking for love, I do feel this could be a person who's communicating with you. Could be any sign. I mean, this is a general reading. I'm not really, if I'm being honest, I'm not really picking up on a specific sign. You do have a lot of water here. You have air. Could be anything, basically. But I do feel there could be a person communicating with you with the Page of Pentacles. For others, I do feel like it's some other type of good news, like maybe you've been waiting for a job, or if you've been waiting for financial news. This looks like financial news to me. And finally, you have the Queen of Cups. I actually read the Queen of Cups as you, Scorpio. Most people read the Queen of Cups as Cancer. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. It's just my own little quirk, right? It's just how I read. So to me, this is just you. And I feel you are showing up in a very strong position as the Queen of Cups. With the Judgment card, you have the Page of Swords, and I would be curious at this time. Judgment can be something calling out to you. It's like, sometimes, I don't know if you've ever, randomly been interested in something, that just, out of nowhere, maybe all of a sudden you're like, I want to play with clay, or I want to go create a piece of art, and maybe you've never done it in your life. That's kind of popping into my head. I'm not saying it's a creative situation, but I just feel that there could be a sudden interest that pops up in your life that kind of captures your attention. I would look into it with the Page of Swords. Page of Swords doesn't say anything. And again, actually, the Page of Swords says be open to what happens. It's like maybe you get interested in art and you become a famous artist, or maybe you get interested in art and then after a while you hate it, but it probably taught you something. Page of Swords just says be open to curiosity. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Swords. Get out of your head for sure. I would try to ignore, I know it's hard, but I would try to ignore the things that are going on in the news and things like that. I always tell people, don't watch the news, right? It is just a bunch of, they literally have the news, they literally put out the worst stuff possible to get as many eyeballs as they possibly can onto their news station, right? That's the whole point of the news, to make you miserable. So I would avoid the news at all costs with the Nine of Swords. I would just get out of your head with that card as well. And with the Queen of Cups, you have the Two of Cups, you and your higher self again, but also true love. So I do feel there could be true love coming in for you. It's like that Page of Swords is a person who's had their eye on you. For some of you, I feel like it's you. I'm not calling you out, Scorpio, but for some of you, I feel like it's you that have had your eye on someone. So there could be a lot of attraction, or you could be attracting someone with that Two of Cups. And, I feel like it'll be good for you. So that looks nice. I like it. Next, you have this Pure Nature card. I just feel that this is saying listen to yourself with this card. It's like saying that certain things are in your nature, as in there are certain things that make you who you are. And I feel like this is just saying, be your raw, she looks naked under that flower, right? So I feel like it's asking you to be your raw self with this card. And I think the more authentic you can be this month, the better, especially in this last row. You have the Seven of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Chariot in this row. There clearly is a victory coming in for you, but this Moon card, the Moon can represent fears, illusions, fantasies, all sorts of things, but there's a path that is running down the middle of the card. The path says, stay on the path. The two pillars here represent needing to not get distracted. It's kind of like saying, if you're working towards a specific goal, wish, or dream, don't allow yourself to get distracted. It's kind of like sometimes I think people get I don't know how to describe it really. It's like if you haven't seen results in something, Seven of Pentacles, it's like you could be looking at it and saying, do I stay here or do I move on to something else? I feel like this is kind of saying stick with something. And again, Cancer had a very similar message as well. If you have Cancer in your chart, you might want to go watch that. But what I would say here is that this is saying you need to stick with something and see it through to the end. That's the type of energy here. Normally I say move on with the Seven of Pentacles or move on to something new. But this to me is saying, there's a little bit more of a harvest or like a second harvest that you can get out of a situation or an experience in your life. It could be a relationship, but for the most part, I feel like it could be work or business related. And it's like with a little bit more elbow grease, you could probably get more out of a situation. And you also have the Chariot as well, which is like a victory. Some of you, I always get moving energy for you, Scorpio, so it wouldn't really surprise me if some of you were moving, traveling, anything like that. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Page of Pentacles again. So definitely good news coming in for you. I kind of get one of those, I get one of those funny movie stories popping into my head, especially in this diagonal. This second one, you have the Two of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. For some of you, I'm wondering if you're dealing with a person where it's like they liked you, you like them, but it's like maybe they were in a relationship and it's like you're always waiting for each other, and then maybe you get into a relationship and they're not in a relationship, and I get this switching back and forth thing, very specific. So some of you could be in one of those types of situations. This actually looks like maybe you're finally both single. So if you've been waiting for a person, I don't recommend waiting for a person in the first place, but this person might be worth the wait, and you're both worth the wait to each other. So I'd say if you're in that would only make sense to you. By the way, that's only for you if you are in that situation. You would know that you're in that situation. For others, I feel that this is like saying second harvest. Look at this. He is got this pentacle, but he's got an empty field right here. It's kind of hard to see, but he could go plant that field right there. So I feel for some of you, I had that word pop into my head with the Seven of Pentacles, second harvest. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Number one, but I like it. I think it's a good thing. It's like maybe you have a business and maybe normally you only get like a certain amount of money. It's like you're getting a second amount of money for the same amount of work or something. I don't know. That might make sense to somebody. With the Moon, you have the Eight of Swords. Get out of your head. The only thing, the thing that is going to keep you trapped is this middle row. There's too much logical, realistic thinking here. And this reading is not realistic. This reading is not, It's not asking you to be realistic. It's saying you need to come up with crazy ideas. Maybe you're like, oh my God, I want to breed unicorns. And I was like, that doesn't exist, right? So it's like some of you might have crazy ideas like that, but at the same time, where there's a will, there's a way. You can probably figure out how to do it, right? You never know. With genetic engineering, we might have unicorns. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm sure PETA is going to come out of the woodwork and come at me for saying that, but I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying it might be possible one day. So what I would say here is that, I would dream big, and I feel like you need to have those unrealistic dreams. With the Chariot, Two of Wands. By the way, Chariot, where there's a will, there's a way. The Two of Wands is a card of taking the lead. He is got a whole new world in his hands. Like I've been saying, I've been preaching this all year long, 2021. We're in 2022 now, but I've been preaching this for like a year straight. It's like we are entering into a new earth, new world. It's like, all the spiritual teachers are like, oh, there's going to be this new earth. There's going to be this explosion, or we're all going to, the sun's going to come in and we're all our skin's going to melt and we're going to turn into rainbow bodies and all this other stuff. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're already in the new vibration. So people are like, I don't think we're going to like notice the change. I don't think we're going to notice that we're in this new vibration. It is up to us to start creating our own reality, to think unrealistically, right? Unrealistically, which is actually probably more realistic now that the vibration has changed. So I feel for some of you, the Two Wands is like saying, take the lead. We need more. I said it to Pisces, and I'll say it to you. I think us water signs in general are here to kind of like show people what is possible. But the problem with that is it's like the universe isn't going to make it easy. The universe is going to put a bunch of, people in your way and all this other stuff that say, oh, you're stupid for thinking you can breed unicorns and, all this other stuff, right? So it's your job not to listen to that. And it is your job to create whatever you want. So pretty interesting. I like it. Weird. Definitely weird reading, but I like it. So thank you for being here, Scorpio. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you. Also, feel free to, I don't know what I was going to say there, but anyway, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your month.